Microphone presents the pre-match.
It's time for our first quarter-final. Fnatic will be taking on FaZe Clan, and I cannot contain my excitement. A best of 3 now is about to be going down on this stage. You have players who have been on many a stage, but this time they find themselves down under and attempting to get one up on their opponent. I'm not alone at this panel. I'm your host, Alex Machine Richardson, and we have Chad Sponge Birchall and Janko YNK Paunovic hanging out to talk about some counter. Now, things are very, very spicy. These teams do seem to meet more often than not, actually, at these offline events, Janko. And I genuinely feel like, had we had FaZe's full roster, this would be an open and shut case. Right now, we find ourselves in a state of limbo.
We thought the same at the World Finals of last season of IEM, Alex, in Katowice, right? We had that amazing best-of-5 final. We thought it was supposed to be a lock for FaZe, really, especially in a best-of-5 series. And Fnatic just stepped up massively, especially Flusha, and they shut them down completely. Now, obviously, with Exist instead of Olaf, it's a bit of a different story, but you can see how times change really fast. Finalists 2 months ago, now playing in the quarters.
Yeah, it was crazy. That grand final will always be ingrained in my memory as one which is very, very hard to beat, especially that last map. That's when Counter-Strike was truly at its best with both of these teams on stage.
Yeah, that was the exciting CS, you know, all the clutches, all the impact plays and that kind of stuff going on. But I think if you have to look at the situation with FaZe, these guys were built to win titles, and time again, they've got to the grand final and they haven't been able to convert those into victories, into trophies, into notches in the belt for the Intel Grand Slam. At some point, this needs to stop, because FaZe, their whole reason for existing is to be a super team, Alex.
Yeah, and when you take a look, actually, I spoke to Carrigan about that game versus Greyhound, and he was actually not only quite critical of his own team, but also he's been praising a lot of these teams that they've been facing up against. You get to take a look at some of their results, Janko. They have not been clean. It's not been a clean and easy path for FaZe to get here.
I'm telling you, Alex, these teams, they're not on top of their game. You know, so much time spent playing, not much time spent practicing, and even that little time probably not spent as efficiently as it should be, right? While you have these teams in Australia, the one thing they have to do a lot is practice, right? Difficult to play against other teams, geographically, internet issues, all of that stuff. And you can see how they have the basics ironed out, right? Good pop flashes, good use of utility. And these teams, tier 1 teams, because of the lack of practice, they focus a lot on individual skill, right? On simple plays. Let's try to make, you know, some room for Guardian to get an entry with an AWP. Let's try to get some room for Nico to do his thing with the AK, right? And that's not really something that's consistent long-term.
Yeah, there we just got to see like a highlight reel of Carrigan with multi-kills, which isn't really something we expect from FaZe. The fact he's had to take a lot more of a, I guess, individual role now that Olaf is in the roster, Exist isn't supplying as much firepower. Carrigan's getting a lot more done, and he had instrumental multi-kills in getting them to this point.
And when we take a look at the path Fnatic took, it hasn't necessarily been as pretty of a picture as you may expect. I mean, G2 have been hamstrung coming into this tournament, still yet to really integrate Mixwell into their roster. They've beaten Chiefs and then lost to Astralis. Outside of that, it's not been a particularly challenging path, I suppose.
Yeah, unexpected one, though, I believe. You know, you would consider them a favorite against G2. That would have been a blunder from their side if they dropped that one. G2 seems to be in disarray still, and against Astralis, who's looking amazing at the moment. I guess there's not much they could have done. You look at their, you know, some of their Twitter posts after that game, you get a pretty good picture of what it looked like even for them in that game. So now this is a real test. FaZe, who is mortal, obviously, as well at the moment with the whole Exist situation, and some of the other players really not performing at the highest level. This is a way for Fnatic to get another deep run.
And we can't forget about this. Fnatic is a big stage team. They're on the stage right now. This is where players like Flusha come alive, right? We saw Crims throughout the tournament be consistent last time round in Katowice, but you come into this one, you come and look at the grand final between FaZe and Fnatic. That's where Flusha comes alive, and he pulls off these clutches right here, right now, that had us jumping around, everybody out of their seats. The FaZe choke was a little bit real there, but Flusha's clutches, when you get to this level, Alex, they're like nothing else.
This was map 5 on a stage in front of a crowd, 1v5 essentially.
7 hours of Counter-Strike or something ridiculous like that. We had multiple overtimes. This map, overtimes on Inferno, right? Flusha with 2 aces on the final map. Just ridiculous Counter-Strike. But that's the thing. We were all so surprised. We were saying this is Flusha of old, because we haven't seen him play on that high of a level for a very long time. Even in this tournament, he's the 4th rated player for Fnatic, right? And that's definitely going to be needed for them. It can't just be Crims time and time again carrying this team. Sometimes it's Lekro, sometimes maybe JW a bit, but Flusha is really the big game player with his, high game sense that can really turn the tide of the game around.
So from a best of 5 in Katowice, we find ourselves in a best of 3 here in Sydney, and I think a lot of the conversation has to be surrounding the maps that will be played. If you take a look at the head-to-head, there are some very common trends, the likes of Overpass, Inferno, very often cropping up.
This map veto is super intriguing because some of the vetoes that generally work for these teams in head-to-head, they're a bit opposite, right? For Fnatic, Overpass is one of their worst maps, but they've beaten FaZe 3 times in a row now.
Damn.
Cash, another very poor map for them, but they've beaten FaZe on it. I think the one win they have on Cash is against FaZe in Katowice in the group stages, right? So coming into this one, it's going to be interesting to see, does maybe Fnatic, now that Cobblestone is out of the picture, a very strong map for them.
Yep.
Do they perhaps leave Nukin, seeing how FaZe is struggling, leave Nukin, maybe veto Cash? FaZe probably going to veto Overpass here, which is very, very strange. And then we get to a scenario where, we see probably an Inferno or a Mirage pick from Fnatic. And depending on what the veto is, what's left for FaZe, it's going to get a bit more difficult.
Yes, indeed, and we should just start by taking that little look at those vetoes. Chad, why don't you take us on a walk, see if Janko's thoughts are going to be realized. We can start taking a walk through those.
The big one for me, obviously, is the question mark of Dust 2, right? We did see it crop up a couple of times throughout, and the fact of the matter is it could crop up here again, because if one of these teams is feeling desperate, if one of them is feeling like they need to pull it out to be, I guess, confident in taking the series, it could be like the whole G2 thing where they picked it, I guess, twice and didn't really pan out for them, did it?
Let's take a look.
G2 is a weird situation. I think we potentially might see Dust 2 as a third map. I see FaZe actually going for a train veto out of all things. I didn't expect that. I was thinking maybe Overpass, but perhaps they think like it was just underperformance on Overpass for them rather than Fnatic figuring out the way they play. So yeah, train coming out of left field. It's not an amazing map for Fnatic.
No, not particularly. And I think maybe the clutches that we just saw from Flusher over there, a bit of PTSD or something along those lines. But the nuke ban, the nuke one comes in, that's just Fnatic playing it safe like normal. Here's the punish pick from FaZe. Their case yesterday was very sloppy. They were missing Molotovs when they were taking mid control, and that's something that Fnatic are definitely going to capitalize on.
Yeah, very dominant scoreline versus Cloud9 across both maps, but really I don't think it was that dominant in-game. It was FaZe winning all the key rounds, crucial rounds, reset rounds, a lot of pistols as well, or force buys really, and that was based off of some great individual plays in a 3v3 in the afterplan. Yes, the calls were good, but nothing extraordinary that they completely out-mind-game Cloud9.
The thing here is, this is where Fnatic is probably just, they could have gone for an Overpass punish because we know that FaZe aren't confident on that map, and Janko brought up the stats of them head-to-head. But now FaZe get a free second FaZe veto. They're probably going to get rid of that Overpass, and then Fnatic are going to get rid of Dust 2, I reckon.
I think this is great for FaZe so far, right? Cash, they already said it in interviews, they're most comfortable on that map at the moment, and Mirage is never going to be a map you're uncomfortable on, right? It's such a default map at this point that, you know what to expect from each team, you know some of the tendencies of the players, Crimson Connector, for example, things like that. So I think FaZe is loving this at the moment, and they do get rid of that Overpass in the second phase.
You called it, and I'm not complaining about Inferno third map. So we do have Cash, Mirage, and Inferno. You guys are giving FaZe a real bit of a comfortable field coming into this veto. Yeah,
another interesting one is Fnatic picking CT side on Cash, right? Cash is at the moment like probably the most T-sided map we've got, and especially considering first map of the day, right? Maybe you want to kick it off with a bang, you want to dictate the pace of the game, come out swinging, but yeah, perhaps they have something in store.
I have something in store for you guys as well. Before we talk about our first map and we get into the nitty-gritty, we can go ahead and check out that view. Stunner is standing by. Let's go see what's going on up there.
I don't know if you can hear this crowd, Alex, but it is one of a kind down here. I'm down here with my man Sniper, and we're going to try to make some sense here at the Vodafone. We got the best view in the house, I believe.
Definitely. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. We can see over everything. The crowd's already almost full, so they're definitely roaring as well. They got the Aussie chants happening. Thanks to old mate Carrigan. It's only up from here.
Only up from here. We're kicking off a little bit of Fnatic and FaZe, and I'm telling you, this FaZe is red hot when it comes to wanting to grab these trophies. They've been on the cusp of grabbing the trophies all year long, and I'm feeling that this might be the one.
Well, on the flip side of that, I think Fnatic are here to upset again. It's going to be an IEM Katowice deja vu.
Deja vu. How about some heavy hitters? We got on both sides of the equation here. I think we got Lekro over on Fnatic. I've got Nico myself. That's a personal favorite, of course.
That's an easy one, I think. But for me, Lekro, 63% success in opening duels. That translates across to about 19 kills across the 6 maps that they've played so far. And when he gets that opening duel, he's 73% more likely to win the round.
I mean, just look at this damage per round on Nico. But more importantly, I think even the kill streaks. I mean, we could talk just a little bit about some of the multi-frags that Nico is able to bring into this team. Nico is Nico. and Nico is a heavy hitter. This is not a guy that you want to bring up to the plate and pitch a slow ball to.
There's probably only one other person like Nico, and that's Simple, right? And he's not here. So obviously, Lecro's got his work cut out for him, but he's done very well for himself. He's got 4 clutches so far across the 6 maps. I mean, they've versed some good competition as well, Astralis, G2. So he's definitely really arrived here for Fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, I did get the chance to kind of speak with the FaZe guys as we were walking into the arena today, and they were very much confident. They were very much on their game. I know they've been practicing late at night, and it's one of those things where they might just have what it takes.
Well, these, quarters, semis, this is where they shine, right? It's the grand final where they choke it out. So let's see. Also, I got to remind you, they had Olafmeister last time they played Fnatic at IEM Katowice. Now they've got Exist, and they didn't win last time.
I don't know that makes entirely too much.
Chain
I mean,
logic,
Olaf
man.
is a
Roll
heavy
with
hitter.
it.
Let's talk about this. If you're in chat right now, go ahead and get your PogChamps out. It's almost time to get this first quarterfinal underway. And you know what? Wouldn't be down under without my beach ball here. And let me tell you, this crowd is loving it.
Players live here for FaZe. Carrigan gets the first and the second, the third as well. Dexter gets dropped.
I think we're pretty relieved that we made it this final tournament, especially with the start we had. Losing to Renegades in the fashion we always lose on Inferno. So all the Australian teams they played really great, and it was a frustrating match for us. But when we came to Cloud9, this is where we showed the real FaZe. It was do or die time now for us to make it to the playoff, and here we are. Group A was open from beginning, I would say. SK having issues, Cloud9 and also having issues, so that Tyloo make it, that's quite interesting. We have to see when we get to the stage, this is where the real tournament starts, I like to say, and this is where they have to show the whole potential. I guess for Fnatic we still have some grudge from Katowice. That was our tournament, the 2v1. We lost against Flusher. We're ready to give some payback back, for sure. So from the first day we had on the stage in Sydney, you could feel the energy. We always deliver high explosive matches, and I would say also high devastating loss, which is always quite interesting to see. Look at the last finals we lost against Fnatic and Cloud9, the major. Everybody's saying it's one of the best matches they ever saw, so we always gonna bring that to the table, and that's why we're here.
I think we just basically, when we know we're better than an opponent, we're not gonna struggle against them. Like if we know we're the favorites, we're always gonna go in as favorites and have the confidence to beat the opponent in any way we want. So I think that's the reason why we showed up. FaZe is a really great matchup for us. Like our play styles are almost identical, and they have great individual players, and we have as well. And I just love playing against FaZe because you know you're gonna get the duels. It's just gonna be a great match. Expecting a really great crowd like last Sydney. It looked amazing from the stream, so I'm just looking forward to the arena.
The Australian crowd was amazing, I think, compared to some around the world. I think you put it up the top. There was so much energy. Everyone was just, your best mate.
I walked in this crowd, I was like, whoa, this is like literally insane.
It was crazy just watching some of the best CS on, the home turf.
So tournaments like this don't come around often. You want to witness like how big this thing is. Esports is wild. It's definitely something you don't want to miss.
There was so much noise, so much excitement, so much hype. You could just feel it when you were sitting there. It was just it made you so excited to be there.
It was just an absolute no-brainer to make sure that such a successful event continued to build a legacy here in Australia. Now we're returning with 3 days of live action, just a massive tournament.
So we're talking 250 gaming PCs, over 500 SSDs, 112 players including managers.
There's a lot of planning and preparation that needs to go into not only the event that the audience sees, but also making sure that in the back end, the players are having a good experience, that they enjoy Australia, because we want them to have fun as well.
There are a few stops in the whole circuit that are very special for different people. Sydney for me is one of them.
The Australian fans are just great. That's really what it comes down to.
This arena was insane last year. I hope that it's the same.
I think that's what kind of separates us from the rest of the world. People here cheer for great Counter-Strike. It's not a biased crowd. They've shown the world what we have to offer, and they've made me proud to be an Australian.
Australia, this is your event. This is the Intel Extreme Masters Sydney.
Just Zipnix alive, and out of being pressured, actually crumbles Zipnix. All right, Clutch Master, let's see what you can do. Kio's giving away a bit of the game here, and there it is, Zipnix. It's a lifeline, it's a window. Zipnix can get a bomb plant, he can do something with this. He absolutely does.
And there it is. More magic from Zipnix. He's gonna get the plant, and it's Nico, he's fooled.
He waits. The molly burns, and he now knows. Oh, Nico! He tries it, but nothing comes through. It's Zipnix from start to finish. This is fast-paced. There's a headshot. Oh, it's the second. And the third. Sprays them all down. It's the beautiful. Wow! That is incredible. That might be the game in itself. An absolutely brilliant play from Fallen. He's got Cole walking in there.
Welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters 2018 here in Sydney in the Qudos Bank Arena. Are we ready? Yes, we are. Today is quarterfinals day. 2 quarterfinals, including an Australian team. But first up, it is FaZe taking on Fnatic. Coming out for this first quarter-final, we have got 2 of the big dogs of World Counter-Strike. On the left-hand side, you've got the team that is the reigning Intel Extreme Masters World Championships. They're one of the biggest legendary teams in all of Counter-Strike. They had a great win just a few months ago to take that title, and they beat the team to my right, one of the most talented rosters we have ever seen, and they want revenge. Carrigan's talked about it. You know the best way to get revenge? Serve it hot in Sydney. So then, let's get this first quarter-final under the way. 2017 was great. Let's make 2018 better. Are we ready? Are we ready? Let's get it on!
This is it, FaZe versus Fnatic, and indeed the scene is set oh so beautifully. We are going to be seeing the necessary preparations being made, and this is a tournament, this is a game, a matchup that will once again have an opportunity to live in infamy. It's all about the Counter-Strike we get to see though. The question is it possible? Do we get to see, there is the potential for world-class Counter-Strike today?
Not for world-class Counter-Strike, Alex, but world-class entertainment for sure. We're going to see not the most beautiful CS, but definitely entertaining. A lot of high-skilled individuals of both teams. A lot of individual plays are going to be made. This is a grudge match for sure, but then again, I feel like for Fnatic, every opponent is a grudge match.
I think Brawl is the perfect way to explain this situation here, Alex, with Cage, Mirage, and Inferno as the 3 maps on the table. This is going to be back and forth. We know that these teams love the force bar. We know how proficient they are with the pistols. It's like Yanko said, it's not going to be the beautiful Counter-Strike, but it's going to entertain the crowd, that's for sure, because I'm expecting some back and forth throughout the series. I don't think anyone's map pick is safe. I don't think anyone has been able to pick into something which they have a clear advantage on, and that's what's going to keep everyone on their feet here, I think.
Absolutely, yes, both here at the analyst desk and in the crowd. Players to watch and keep our eyes on, though, I think for me, it's actually the man you can see on the left side of your screen, Rain. He was such an instrumental is the word I'm looking for, power for FaZe, and we've kind of lost him a little bit.
Absolutely, one of the most fun players to watch, so solid most of the time, and that's what's a good thing for FaZe coming into this tournament. Nico, Rain, and Guardian are all doing well, not great. They need to step up in playoffs if FaZe is going to have a dip run here. We're talking about head-to-head. I'm going to give you one you don't expect. Lekro versus Guardian, because those are the two players among the highest percentage of opening kill success. And on a map like Cash, map like Mirage, Inferno, right, a lot of duels. Their FaZe is to an extent relying on Guardian to get those kills, so we're going to see who has more success coming into this one.
I do hope the man there, JW, is having that swaggery feel, that vibe to him as he steps on the stage, because when he does, that Counter-Strike can catch Guardian off guard, and that's going to be fun as well.
Yeah, there's hyper-aggressive players that JW has basically made his name synonymous for over the years. Is going to be on display here, I think. But Crims is the man throughout the last couple of months who's looked super consistent, closest to the camera here. I'm expecting big things from him. Hasn't had the same level of performance thus far throughout the tournament, but I think that'll get turned around when we get into the game.
Yeah, so the first map is Cash. Now, we kind of want to talk a little bit about how we did get here. It was FaZe's pick. This is what they seem to consider the strongest opportunity versus Fnatic. Can you understand their thought process there, Janko?
Yeah, they seem to be very comfortable on the map ever since 2018 started, really, towards the end of last year. It wasn't one of their best maps. They seem to have put in the work, and now they have such a deep playbook, really, when you look at that T side. Good variety of just default plays, taking over territory and ending rounds, and some set pieces where they go into it straight at the start. And that's why this is going to be such an entertaining game. Fnatic are no strangers to aggression on the CT side, and they're definitely going to try and disrupt FaZe early on.
It does have to be noted, though, when FaZe played this map earlier in the tournament, they did look sloppy, right? They were missing Molotovs. They were just relying on the individual kills and skills coming out, basically putting multi-frags on the board. But maybe the fact that Fnatic, they got manhandled by Astralis. They had a 7% win round ratio after losing the first kill, which means if they're losing a player, they're not getting anything done with it. So the fact of the matter is maybe FaZe see that as a weakness, but FaZe didn't get tested. There was no Cloud9 aggression on their CT side. Cloud9 weren't pushing. They were just sitting back and waiting.
Yeah, and with our closing thoughts, I just want to understand who you think is taking this Cash pick. You've kind of painted a bleak picture for both sides. I wouldn't be surprised if I hear a Fnatic prediction out of you, Janko.
Yeah, it can go either way. As Chad pointed out, the maps are not, super one-sided, really. But on Cash, I do have to give the edge to FaZe because they're just super comfortable on the map at the moment. They don't have a lot of confidence, but Cash is a map where they do feel super confident. And for Fnatic, it's actually the other way around.
Yeah, are we going to go map by map basis here, Alex?
I was looking for the Cash pick. We will be back between maps, so you don't have to panic. But I mean, if you wanted to predict the series, go crazy.
I think it might be a slow start from Fnatic, so I think we might see the first map going to FaZe. Going to put a bit more confidence, a bit more stock in their stars showing up here early.
Okay, so with that said, we're going to be seeing Cash, then we're going to be seeing Mirage and Inferno. Good God, I hope we get Inferno just for the crowd so they get their Counter-Strike take.
FaZe, Inferno, third map. Is there anything more epic at the moment? Seems like every time it has to be a double overtime, triple overtime. It's just insane how close those games get, and I think they're actually getting a bit sick of it, Chad. Not very good memories.
Well, not for them, but for us, that's for sure. We're going to be watching that Counter-Strike for years to come. But look, I think the one big factor for Fnatic is that they do play better on the stage. I can't really stress that enough.
But it's so unquantifiable. It's so hard to understand.
And the guy on your screen is a specifically important player for Fnatic, similar to how important Olaf is for FaZe, right? You've heard it in interviews. Why is Olaf so important? Because he has that individual role. He has to make a lot of mid-round decisions by himself. He's left to his own devices, and because he's such a skilled player, he can make the right decisions and swing the rounds for FaZe. That's what Flusha does on Inferno. He's in Banana by himself. On Cash, you're also going to see him towards B, trying to take Checkers control, sometimes alone, sometimes with support, and that's a very, very difficult role to execute because you can't die, like that you cannot allow yourself to be taken out because your team loses all map control or map information there, but you still need to apply pressure, get information for your in-game leader, try to draw out utility, and that's why guys like Flusha, like Olofmeister, are really invaluable to their teams.
Yes, and with our closing thoughts, Chad, you get to give me that one player that will be thriving throughout the entire series. We've heard mentions of Lekro, we've heard mentions of Crims, even JW at the tip of your tongue. I just want to have that one player that all eyes will be locked on.
I think it's going to be on Guardian. This form throughout, it usually carries into the tournament, into the finals, and I'm expecting it here.
So am I. Sydney, let me hear you. Are you ready? I'll take that as a yes. Let's get into the commentary. Let's get into our first map, our quarterfinal bout. In the left corner, FaZe. In the right, Fnatic. And your casters are Henry and Harry.
Thank you very much, Alex. Yes, here it is, the quarterfinal. Fnatic versus FaZe. Harry, we're going to have an epic start to the day here. The fans are ready. The players aren't quite. We'll be getting into this any second now. But we've got Fnatic on the CT side. Cash to kick things off. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Honestly, Henry, this could go either way. Fnatic and FaZe are both looking so good right now. Fnatic, I love them. I think they have so much passion for the game. They thrive up on the stage. And FaZe, of course, this is the rematch for them. I'd kind of love to see them finally get to beat Fnatic, especially after what happened in Katowice.
You would hope so. Best of 3 is definitely going to go all the maps. If we get Inferno at the end, that would be absolutely superb. Either way, it looks like the players will be getting ready now. Cash is going to be a high-flying, high-fragging map. Lots of adrenaline-pumping plays, as we'll see Fnatic on that CT side, and watch out for them. They're not going to be playing defensively, Harry. They're going to be getting up close and personal, pushing every single facet of the map. And hopefully FaZe will be able to fight back and show us whether they're able to contain the Fnatic members. A lot of the analysts saying that Fnatic seem to perform better on the stage. With Exist in the lineup now, do you feel like FaZe even have the firepower to go toe-to-toe with these guys?
I mean, I think only time will tell, Henry. That's the thing. Exist, I love him. I think he's been doing well, and they've said that they think this is where they're finally going to show off with him in this roster.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've heard you're one of the best crowds in the world. Let's show them what you're made of. Make some noise! Fnatic versus FaZe! Quarterfinal number 1. And we'll have a look at the buys. 3 sets of armor, Karrigan with the smoke, the Molotov, the Deagle's out for Guardian. And we'll see which way they're heading. It's going to be a slow default. They kick things off here. Rain challenging towards A main. Flusher's boosted up. You're going to see some world-class Counter-Strike. And here we go, the first commitment towards middle.
Yeah, they're already making their way out. Guardian, he's the man leading the way. Rain is over here towards main, and he's about to try and make a play. He has got Karrigan and the rest of the gang in tow. FaZe, it looks like they want to hit this A-bomb site where Flusher, Crims, and JW reside. That first smoke going to go out and damage done to JW. He's going to hurt in the morning. He's going to fall. Karrigan finds him, and Exist going to be in with one more. Crims, he stands here alone now, and he's been so good for Fnatic. He's going to get forced off the angle. The bomb will go down for FaZe, and they're 5-on-3 up in the post-plant raid. Going to make things that much worse, and now there's Guardian. What can he do over in mid? Crims just desperately trying to answer back, and he's going to manage one. But you imagine that's going to be it for him now, Henry.
I would say so. Crims doesn't stand a chance here. He will get a consolation frag and take down Karrigan, but a perfectly played round there from FaZe. Nice little play towards the A side. Default to begin with, like we said, nice and slow. Wait for the aggression to come out from Fnatic. Is anyone pushing? Are they hunting for information? Simple smokes towards A. Hit the shots that really matter. I'll have a look at the scoreboard. It was Karrigan. He's been playing so well for this team so far, been instrumental in their success. But wait, there will be a bump in the road. This won't be a simple second round. You're going to see CZ, Scouts, Armor, Diffuse Kits. Fnatic are playing to win this one. And Lekro's got one of the best Deagles in the world right now. This will not be easy.
No, it will not. Lekro is going to take that Deag over here towards the B-bomb site. He'll just tuck himself away and lie in wait. Karrigan coming his way. As you said, he's looked so good right now. He's been leading by example, putting up numbers. And is both brains and brawn within this FaZe clan lineup. Smoke going to go out over towards mid. Crims, he's here with the scout. He means business. He's got some support coming in. He's going to get boosted over the top. And he's peeking over into mid. There are players there, one of those being Guardian. And that smoke now going to start to slowly tick on over. Crims hasn't spotted anything.
Well, the mid control comes in. Guardian towards the vents. See whether him and his Mac-10 can open things up. The CZ at that range is just so tantalizingly deadly. It's JW waiting on the other side. A bit of a connoisseur with the CZ. They head up towards A though. Guardian going to show a bit of presence towards B. You can see 4 players triangulating around the A side. Just Flusher waiting there. He can be pretty disgusting with that weapon as well, but here comes the final play. Can Flusher hold them off? Golden will come to back him up.
He stands here alone, and Flusher He's going to fall at the first hurdle. Golden trying to answer back. He doesn't last long either, just JW and Electro. And these CZs, they've done nothing, Henry. JW left 1v5, and he's going to tuck himself away, look to try and stay alive here towards the B-bomb site phase. Like gun dogs, they come hunting him down.
Yeah, this is a real clinical round there from FaZe. Not a single frag given away. I say that, and yes, it is. Clean sheets for the FaZe clan. Fnatic don't get anything done there whatsoever. We go into round number 3. It'll be a complete eco at this point. Default weaponry across the board. Not really much you can do apart from maybe stack B, stack middle, try and challenge and hope the mistake is made. If you're FaZe at this point, you just want to run more of the same. Slow defaults, work out whether you can get a bit of information, throw one of those Mac 10s into the bomb site first. If he gets in cleanly, cool, everyone can go in after him. If he dies, causes a stack, at that point you can just fall back and go to the other side of the map. You do not want to rush on these sort of rounds. They still can fall apart.
They most definitely can. And while Fnatic, they've stacked this B-bomb site, as you say, Henry, we can see that one of the Mac 10s is over here, but it looks like Rain is the man at the front. JW's just tucked himself away into the corner. He's playing that bait and switch. He has Letcro, as the rest of the guys around. FaZe look like they're going to start to walk away from B. They're not bothered with this bomb site. They don't want to go walking into the stack. And they're not leaving anything up to chance here.
At this point, back towards A they go. Carrigan established himself. You can see A site is completely open. It is that B stack. He got very little chance of finding frags. He might as well hope that a mistake is made as Carrigan goes in towards the B storage area. He'll be greeted by JW. There's a knife kill coming in, but surely not going to happen. He might still get the frag. He does indeed. Carrigan did steal one away. Round will still be going in FaZe's favor, as you'll see them plant any second now. Nothing the CTs can do about this.
Yeah, JW, he's clearly feeling some of that showmanship, though. He wanted to go for the knife in round 3, Henry. He looks to humiliate FaZe. This isn't just about getting the win. JW, he's actually arrived here with the UMP. Anything he can get is going to be worth its weight in gold for them at this point. You get the kill reward with the SMG. Guardian here to try and mop up Letcro, and now they're going to go running the way of JW. He is going to have his work cut out for him if he wants to stay alive, but anything he can find is just fantastic. For the AWP before Fnatic. There we go, 1 kill. Maybe a little bit more. 2 going to come in for him. That's $1,200 made. He's going to take that all day long. And they're still doing so much damage here. Finally Exist and Nico get a hold back on things.
That's actually great news for JW, considering he's going to be the AWPer of this squad. He just manages to farm an extra $1,200. It means he gets that AWP straight away here, even after the force buy in the second round. Normally a little bit hamstrung at this point. You've taken the Deagles, the CZs, got no kills for it. You have to go 5 rifles, but that's helped him out immensely. You can see a couple of compromises being made. There's only 1 kit available, and that's on Fusher, who had to get the UMP. But he's got to be one of the cheesiest players within the game. He'll be more than happy to try and make that weapon, find a couple of frags. I don't think that will be a problem. Guardian on the AWP, of course, will be going towards A main. Very slow, methodical default about to happen. You don't want to do anything too crazy here. Just hold up and see where the CTs are pushing for a pick, like we said in the pre-game. Fnatic, famous for those sort of audacious pushes towards Squeaky, main entrance, and you just got to try and hold them off at the very start. Boost will come in. Bomb holds up around that position as well. You can see it in towards A main. In terms of the presence towards middle, Crims and Golden both towards highway. No one at sandbags, no one in the connector, so Golden with a rifle can't really play for frags. He's just playing for that information. As soon as he spots one, he'll fall back and just try and hold them off on the highway.
And he hasn't spotted anything yet. You have JW with his AWP in the B-bomb site, but he's not going to get any love. As FaZe setting up outside of A. Nico going to go ahead and open up the squeaky door, throws down that smoke for the cross. Now, Crims, there was a smoke there, but he's going to find him through it. Man advantage picked up early on for the Swedes. And now FaZe looking like they want to try and execute in towards this A-bomb site. It's Guardian looking to lead the charge with the AWP. No one from Fnatic giving anything up here, and Guardian hard pressed to try and find an equalizer. Carrigan goes in first, bomb on his back. He tries to lead the charge. Guardian's here to help out. He does manage one, but that's the bomb dropped. And now FaZe, you have to get a move on here. 25 seconds left, and Guardian, that's the big miss. Exist on the highway. Able to pick up Golden. 15 seconds. Guardian has got his work cut out for him. Exist is doing work. They have 2 kills left to find, and there's Flusher with the AWP. It's all onto one man. And Flusher is ruthless. Back at the site, he locks down 2. Fnatic, they're going to find their first round.
There it is, the first gun round. Fnatic desperately needed it, managed to avoid the 0 and 5. Came right up to the wire there, 10 seconds. Guardian certainly had a shout on the 1 versus 2, but you could see him running out of time. Couldn't get that bomb down, had to try and bait them out with some sound cues. It certainly did, but at that point, Flusha managed to grab his second frag. Will be the double orb setup now for Fnatic. You can see Flusha, who's getting more and more proficient with the AWP in recent months. He'll be joining JW here. No more for Guardian now. The money's starting to run a little bit dry as they head towards B. All 5 players on this side of the map. JW defend them off, and he's pretty good at getting shots through smoke. This time, none of them connecting. Carrigan holds towards middle. Necro given the arduous task of holding that checkered position against 4 incoming players. They might not commit just yet. Exists right at the mouth of the bomb site as JW patrols towards middle.
Yeah, and you can see Golden. He's looking like he wants to try probe ahead over here in mid. He has support from Crims and from JW. He's going to get alongside the vents. FaZe. It looked like they were going to commit to that B hit early on, but they've since decided against it. They're going to go ahead and reroute back to tried and tested waters over here towards this A bomb site. 4 players ready to push on in. Exist. He's still watching for any aggression over there at B. And now they wait, lining up. Smokes the flashes, Flusha. He's going to be holding the angle over here towards main, and he has support from Crims down on the highway. 40 seconds left on the clock. That's going to prompt FaZe to have to make a move. The first smoke goes down. Flusha. He's going to tuck himself in behind Quad. Crims able to win that first fight. Actually, it's JW to do it. JW with the second. He's just tearing them apart. Guardian and Nico. They're the 2 players left for FaZe to try and keep them in this round. This A take has just been dismembered, and once again, that clock is their enemy. Golden's gone out and found Nico, and Guardian only a Mach 10. It's not meant to be. So Fnatic, second round.
Yeah, looking very good there. Fnatic will be almost having a clean sweep, but giving up 1 kill, which is Crims going down there. FaZe, very basic approach towards the A side. Default didn't find them any sort of picks whatsoever. Started off towards B, fell back, and then all of a sudden towards A, they got lost in their own smokes, it felt like. As Fnatic have broken the money down for FaZe here. Just Glocks, no armor, no nades, pretty much full eco. We have got 1 PT-50 on Exist. Objective of these rounds is purely just to try and get a plant. As the Guardian's almost AFK there. You can use these as a timeout almost as well. And these big series as you work out what you'll be doing in the next round. It's always 0% chance you can win on the T side with just Glocks. But we'll see what they can make of it. If you're able to send 5 people to one part of the map, maybe you can trade out a couple of kills and potentially get a plant, who knows. But Guardian's still hit spawn. Maybe he's adjusting himself and working out what he wants to do.
Yeah, of course, as you say, it means they don't have to waste one of these pauses. They're about to go running into the waiting arms of JW. He's here with Lecro, and you imagine this is just going to be like shooting fish in a barrel for him as he breaks away from the angle, doesn't want to take that first fight. Lecro's inside of the bomb site for FaZe, as you say. I mean, a bomb plant here would be... well, that's a fantastic result if they're able to get into this bomb site and start to put these pistols to work up close. JW, that's a big shot to miss, and he's going to miss it the second time around as well. That's a disaster now for Fnatic. They've lost Lecro. JW's going to fall Exist. He forces the issue down into CT, and now suddenly Golden, he's arrived at the scene. He's going to try and get this back under control. And this could very quickly go so wrong for Fnatic. This is a round that FaZe had almost written off at the beginning. Half the timer gone on that bomb. Flusha down at CT, and you can see Golden leading the charge in from the heavens. Crim's going to be able to get 1. Flusha, he falls. What is going on? Golden, 1v1, and Nico's going to do it. 3 kills for him and FaZe. How have they managed that, Henry?
1 P250, 4 Glocks, no armor, no grenades, and somehow they make that round there. As I said going into it, it's almost 0% chance. If you get the bomb plant down, that's considered a win in itself. But it snowballs out of control. 1 kill is all it took. They get the M4, some clever positioning, working off each other, and that B bomb site just collapses. Fnatic really gave that one away. That round should not be given away to FaZe whatsoever. They still have money to buy here, but they're going to take a pause at this point. We'll work out what they're going to buy here. It's going to be Deagle for Crims, Golden CZ. They still have a double orb setup. As Flusha works out his approach. He's purchased the armor, he can purchase shotgun, UMP. Maybe go for the FAMAS. We'll see which way he is inclined. His tactical timeout will come to an end now. Guardian right back in the money. Just remember, they just won a round with nothing. They didn't have to spend any cash there. They get an injection of 32.50 there, on top of what they already saved. They are high rolling right now. They've got a nice 4-bye into round number 7. As FaZe completely steal that round away. We're going to number 7 now. MP9 for Flush Up. These are one of the rounds you need to get aggressive. The AWPers need to be working for frags. They can't just sit back. It will be JW and Lecro, who's on the secondary AWP. Just to note, Flush Up given the task of using the MP9, trying to find that first pick. JW going in the doors. What I'm talking about, needs to get in there and find that pick. Nico will be on the other side, but he knows this is coming. He's played this game before. He knows what JW's up to. Bit of a standoff there as they wait for the push to come in, the inevitable push. Who will crack first?
Yeah, right now, Nico, he just looks to hold his ground. JW, he would love to try and find some success over here towards Squeaky. You see FaZe, they've been running this default time and time again. They're prepared for this aggression from JW in the meantime. Guardian, he's been boosted up over into middle. He has a man with him, Nico. You can see the temptation in his eyes. He wants to try and make it work, and he's forced JW off the angle. He's going to try and take the peek. That's the shot miss. Without the armor, he has to run for the hills, and Nico has forced him off the angle. Now Fnatic into main they go. They're going to go charging in. Flusher, he leads the way with the MP9, and no one keeping an eye on this. You can finally see Guardian turns his attention back round, but now he's out in middle. FaZe looking like they're going to try setting up, going towards this B bomb site where Lecro, he resides with that other AWP. They're going to start to come his way, and Lecro, all eyes on you. He's been so good at winning these opening fights, and there's the first. He still has so much work left to put in here for Fnatic. He just has to buy time, and he's going to fall, but here's Flusher in with the backstab. He manages one. He's bought some more time. Crim's going to try his best, but he now falls, and JW, there's only 7 seconds left on that clock. JW waiting down in CT. He lets them get away with the plant. Nico and Guardian, a terrifying duo to come up against. He's desperate to try and find something, and Guardian's given a kill away. Now down to the 1v1, and Nico down in checkers. Rallies off some shots. JW knows where he is. There's very little time left. He has to move quickly here. He's going to go in. Nico tucked away, and JW doesn't realize Nico peeks out. He's in the sight. There's so little time left on the clock. JW, oh my goodness, he lands the shot, but he does concede the round.
He does send out a message though, doesn't he? The fact he even goes to that one shows that he's ready. He's here to play, he's hitting shots. The first one was great on Guardian, the second even better. He takes all the money they had into that round away. That was the force buy from Fnatic though. It was not successful. JW probably wanted to save the AWP, a bad decision considering he had no kits. They'll have around $2,000 now, Fnatic. The overall scoreline 5-2 as FaZe lead on the T side here on cash. Should be the full eco now for the Swedish squad, and we'll see FaZe going to a more anti-eco sort of formation. It's going to have the AK-47's utility. Again, don't need to rush this one, but against the USPs it should be fine. I say that, FaZe did manage to win a full round with just Glocks and 1 P250. And number 8, JW came close, but couldn't quite seal the deal.
Yeah, they're going to be kicking themselves after that one, Henry. Now, with just that 1 PT50 on Flush, you do not fancy their chances, but you know, as we say, we've written off FaZe once and they managed to do it. Rain going to go pushing over into mid, and FaZe, it looks like they just want to grab control, try and keep this round clean and get it over and done with. Golden does reside down here over in Z, but smoke going to go down, and that now renders him useless.
Well, here we go. Rain investigating towards middle. Now that's gathered. They can go for a B split. That would be the most likely outcome here. Rain will be checking towards the connector. Crims waiting at the highway. FaZe now probably want to send a few more players towards this area. Nico will be joining Rain any second. He spots one. Does take a lot of damage there. Down to 27. Give himself a veil with the smoke. And his teammates now heading towards the A bomb site. Bomb will be there as well. Crims drop. That should be the round now. Shouldn't be any danger of losing this one. Maybe a frag or two, but the bomb planted. There's no chance with Fnatic. On the other side of the map, as Nico starts to show us what he's made over the AK.
He's just getting into some aim practice over here in mid. Yeah, FaZe, they've got that bomb down. JW, you might be able to find something, maybe head out of this round with an AK, but you can see Nico's already holding the fort. Ooh, he's going to get painted up with damage. There is a chance for JW to maybe scavenge an AK from mid. Nico, this is just a stat pad round, a second kill. FaZe going to be moving on to a 6th here. Now it just becomes a question of how clean can they keep this round.
All 5 players alive, but barely. You can see exists Nico, Ray, and Guardian all hovering around 25 HP, and they'll get all 5 kills. So absolutely fine. Great round there from FaZe. Money starting to swell now, looking very healthy indeed. Guardian still has the AK. They don't want to throw an AK away. They've got 5 of them. There's no point buying the AWP and just throwing away $2,700. You might as well keep it. Maybe work with a set piece instead of a default where he has to work for a frag. We'll see what they go for here. Quick check on the scoreboard at the very top. Guardian with 8, Exist with 8 as well. Good to see him performing. Rain a bit off the pace with 1 and 5. For Fnatic, JW 7 and 6. Great game by him so far. Crims with 6. Look out for him as this series develops. He's going to be having some hard-stopping rounds as we'll get into the next gun round here. Number 9. JW doesn't have the AWP either. Full rifle round. And the first kill's coming in. Carrigan locks horns with JW. Crims quickly recovers the kill. 4 and 4. 1 minute 30, and it will be a B attack. You can see 3 players waiting towards the storage area, but there's 1 man in their way. He's very skilled indeed. That's Lekro. He's not going to go down about a fight here. Or maybe he will. Crims will have to try and back them up the best he can at this point. Golden Wild Spray won't connect.
That B bomb site has just been torn in 2 by FaZe. For Crimson Flusher, they're just going to have to back away, Henry. They can't go for this one. They're going to make the call to try and hold on to these 2 M4s. And for Fnatic now, Henry, I'm getting a little bit worried. Lekro, you know, we mentioned him a lot. We've spoke about him just because of his extremely high win rate in those opening fights. I think it's like 63% or something along those lines. He's been so good. And right now, it feels like he's lost every single duel he's taken.
He was there. I thought he was going to perform. The way he's been playing in this tournament, you would assume so, but Exists with a surprise play. No sign that he was coming. Just jump around the corner. Predicted that Lekro would be in that position. Obviously, watching the demos, knows his tendencies, positions he likes to play within. And Crims now holding an aim, man. I don't think he's long for this world. Rain is coming, and he's not happy. Takes him down. Clinical headshot there, 7-2. And that should be money removed again from Fnatic. Looking incredibly sharp here. FaZe just running away with this one. Has to be another eco. They can go with a partial buy, considering the loss bonus at the 4th stage. That's $2,900 per player. Next round, $3,400. So you can take your money down to about $1.8 to $2.2 thousand. And that normally means Deagle, armor, maybe a CZ or 2. Actually opting for the CZs, but that does make a lot of sense. Cash got a lot of long-range duels, especially towards boost. The entrances, and trying to catch players out. Rain will be taking a bit of a risk here to go for that first kill. He's tacked up Golden. Just do 66 points of health, and in terms of utility, nothing for Fnatic. So it's difficult to really get in those choke points. Even more so if Rain's hitting shots like that. Finds the 5 on 4.
Flusher going to try his luck. He's got that dig in hand. Nico is pretty ruthless. That's just delete him. Crims, he's been so key for Fnatic, and they're just going to lose him straight away over here inside the A bomb site. What is happening right now? FaZe are firing on all cylinders. They keep 5 alive once again, Henry. The Deagles, the armor, it gets nothing done for Fnatic. Now a buy going to be coming in.
Not before they take a timeout first. Oh, look at this lovely addition to the arena on the HUD. You can see everything they've got, the equipment value. There's the scoreboard. This is the first time I've seen it. It's looking incredibly lovely. As we'll, oh, there's Carrigan. Any Carrigan fans out there? He is a man of the people. Lots to get you guys riled up. He does a very good job of that, and he's certainly got in the heads of Fnatic as well. You can see they look a little bit dejected, haven't really sunk their teeth into this game just yet. There will be plenty of money. Just to look at FaZe, as you saw on the graphic there, they're all hovering just beneath the 5-digit mark. All for JW again. A maximum loss bonus being kind to them. They have the kits, they have the utility. Single orb set up this time, but Guardian's out and about. He's hit double digits, so has Nico, so has Exist. Great to see him turning up in a big game on the stage for them. Rain going for those wall bangs, no shots connecting, but let's see if we can get anything more done here. All set up at the round, pretty standard stuff. Golden and Crims once again towards that highway. Lekro and JW should be able to boost one player up into the vents. They're going to have a 3-man setup in middle. And that's where Guardian resides, looking for that first pick, waiting for a mistake to be made. Someone's going to check boost, but do they dare?
Yeah, if they do, they're going to go peeking on out into Guardian. They go ahead and actually disassemble the boost. Fnatic, they've boosted up Letcro over here into the vents. That B bomb site's been a real problem for them. This is now a smaller change. That has freed Crims to start to rotate up towards the A bomb site exist. He's still over here towards B, throwing out the smokes, the flashes, just to keep their attention fixated his way. You can see FaZe now setting up to head in towards the A bomb site. Guardian on that AWP. He looks to be the man to lead the way. Crims, he's going to hop down from the rafters. Flashes there. He goes peeking in, but he only manages one. And in response, here comes FaZe. They've awoken the beast as FaZe pouring into the bomb site. Golden to try and hold the line. Golden, they line up for him. He finds himself two, and now it's Nico. 1v4 from Squeaky. And he can't get anything done. Fnatic, they find their first round in a while. They're going to take it 3-8.
Yeah, timing's a little bit off there for FaZe. There should be a smoke in that position to allow them to have a path toward the bomb site. I think they were slowed down a bit too much. The utility hold from Fnatic was almost spot on there, dropping their incendiaries, counter smokes, and flashbangs, and when FaZe finally committed, Golden had a clean rundown, had two of them there, and that completely stifled the entrance. And to get to round number 12 here, FaZe, like we said, plenty of money for them, even another round in the bag after everyone went down with no plants. 4 players towards B storage, and Carrigan will be focusing towards middle. JW's here though, he'll nail the first shot, but still, they keep continuing to come towards the bomb site, finds his second. It's a 3 versus 4 now, but exists, goes in the flames, can't find the second. 3 on 2, still now in favor of Fnatic.
Guardian chimes back with one more on the AWPs. They've done so much. Guardian 2 kills left to find, both up in heaven. He's going to go ahead and Molotov them off the angle. Guardian, he's got time. The bomb goes down and Fnatic, they sneak away in through mid, they go.
They want to make sure they stick together at these points. They know Guardian's going to have the AWP. Give him 2 targets in the same area, it's unlikely he heals both of you. If you come from separate points of access, he can kill one, reset. So you want to stick together here, it's the right way to operate, and there it is, they'll take him down. Guardian doesn't get a thing done there, and Fnatic finally getting consecutive rounds on the board, but the bomb has been planted. And like we said, there was one more buy for FaZe, even more so now with that bomb going down. Still got 9k on Rain, Nico 8,000, so they're absolutely fine, but Fnatic now making this scoreline competitive. They can post 5 or 6 rounds, that's absolutely fine. JW, great job here. AWP, you can see so much pressure, so many targets there. Exist finally took him down, but the damage had been done. Round 13 coming up. No secondary all for Fnatic here, but JW doing a fantastic job. That was a faster round from FaZe, trying to change the pace after presenting so many slow defaults. Didn't work out, but it was very close in the end. Guardian definitely had grounds to win that one, as Flusher looks like he wants to change things up. Gonna be nading towards the main entrance, could do a lot of damage here, doesn't quite connect, but he does go for the push. Guardian takes him down. That's what I was talking about in the pre-game. Fnatic love to try and find those opening picks, but Audacious pushes through the smoke.
This time, though, it's come back to punish them. Guardian, he was the man who opened up, and now he's got a bloodlust. He's going to get boosted up here into mid. Golden, he's here to try and hold back the coming tide of FaZe. He does have his work cut out for him. Naded off the angle. He spots the man on the boost. Backs away and gives up mid. This has left a lot of pressure onto Letcro in that B bomb site. He stands there alone right now, and we know that FaZe, they've been a fan of grabbing control of mid and then trying their luck in towards B. You can see it's in Golden's head. He started to rotate around away from that A bomb site. And FaZe, they're just maintaining mid control right now, taking this, so they're applying the pressure, making Fnatic feel very claustrophobic. And in towards the B bomb site they go. Letcro here alone. Effectively in a 1v4. He has to buy so much time. There's 25 seconds on the clock. FaZe, they're going to play a contact play in towards this site. Letcro, he's managed one. He has so much more on his plate. JW's here to help out just in the nick of time. He arrives from the vents, and it's all on to Nico once again. A 1v4. There's the first, but Golden's going to be out of trade, and Fnatic, they find themselves another round.
Letcro giving way too much space there. How is he allowed to get that 1 kill without it being traded out? He even stayed for another challenge, and the timing's just off from FaZe. Yanko did point out this wasn't going to be pretty CS being played. It was going to be an all-out brawl, and you can see coordination's off. The timing on the initial pick was bad. They lose that first pick, then everyone's focused on the same targets. No one's considering the vents. And it all falls apart. Fnatic given a bit of a lifeline at this point with some poor decisions from FaZe. I want to take a pause at this point and decide what just happened there. What were the issues? Why did no one go for the trade once the first player went down? It didn't make sense. The fundamentals really missing there from FaZe as we get into round number 14. The money now starting to be whittled down. They'll do whatever they can to buy up into the round. It'll be Carrigan on the CZ. Nico has $3,500, so Coach Robin now able to chime in and decide what's going to be done here. Nico will go for the AK, no helmet combo, no utility. Same story for Exist as well. 2 AK-47s for Fnatic as they claw their way back into this game. Looking much better now. Lekro showing some form in that previous round. We'll go to number 14 here, the dying stages of the first half. Crims waiting at the entrance of mid-entrance. He can meet whether he'll push through any further. He did hear some spam shots, just waiting for that reload sound.
Run boost, Guardian, he goes over. We've seen that have success for him in the past. This time it doesn't lead to anything. JW, he's over in mid. Crims down beneath the boost, Gold in here. Fnatic, they've got 3 players in middle. They know that FaZe have been keen on grabbing control here, and this time they look to try and challenge it. Those crisscross smokes look like they might come out over into mid. It's just the one actually, but Crims is keeping an eye, a watchful eye on these smokes. Not gonna let anyone through.
Very slow stuff. I think Crims has snuck through towards that mid-warehouse and he'll punish Guardian. Didn't see it coming, and I can feel Crims building that play up as he'll funnel FaZe back towards the A side, but that's where Flusher resides. He'll be there. He'll have to fall back now. Has got the M4, drops a great incendiary. They have to run through it. It segregates him, and once again, FaZe not operating as a team. Flusher just dissects them man by man, and this is looking way too easy for them now. Nico's still alive, though, and he's now in a 3 versus 1.
1 versus 3, and Nico, he's still doing damage. Finally going to get dealt with as he tries to go toe-to-toe with all of Fnatic. And in the end, that's too much to ask of one man, even if it is Nico. Fnatic looking much better in these sight holds, Henry. Their first retake was a few rounds ago. Other than that, FaZe had been looking so incredibly good.
And it was FaZe that almost giving rounds away. Fnatic, yes, looking much better. But FaZe, they seem to be dropping off in terms of the synergy. Flash up, great incendiary. You could see how detrimental that was. We're going to round number 15. CZs, AK-47s, and an aggressive push towards that B storage area. Getting information, it will be Crims and Lekro to get towards the sunroom. As FaZe set themselves up at the A bomb site. Flusher has to fall back a little bit further, knowing he's by himself. Doesn't want to give his kill up for free, but he has got vision towards his targets. Throws the incendiary to deny the plant. At least buy himself some time as Guardian will fend them off with smokes. And Crims and Lekro flanking, going towards middle here. That's where Carrigan's waiting.
Ooh, but Carrigan, he's going to fall at the first hurdle. Now the pressure's on to the rest of his team. Guardian hidden in the smoke. He's going to go through, but he only manages 1. The bomb is ticking down. Fnatic, they're the ones on the clock. Nico, he looked so good in the previous round, and this time he's out for revenge. He's going to get tagged up, then he burns in the fire and flames, and now it's Rain and Exist. Rain has got the attention of Lekro, but he's going to find the kill. Exist inside the site. Out with the CZ and JW 1v2, it's not meant to be. FaZe, they managed to find themselves a 9th round at the very end of things. 9-6, Henry, at the end of the first half.
And it is indeed 9-6. FaZe starting to look a little bit shaky towards the end of that one. Can they pick themselves up as Fnatic chase? We'll find out after the break. Welcome back to our first quarterfinal of the day, Fnatic versus FaZe. It sounds like an amazing game on paper, but it's been a scrappy duel brawl so far. We'll see if FaZe can pull their socks up. They look great as the half began, but the quality certainly degraded towards the end. Fnatic managed to get themselves 6 rounds. They were the better team towards the end of that one. They'll be on the T side now. We're going to see PG50s and Lekro. Like we said, one of the scariest Eagles in the game. He's bringing it out on the pistol, baby. Let's see where he can open things up. And we'll have a look at the buy for FaZe as well. 4 sets of armor there. Exists with the defuse kit, the smoke, playing that support role. And here we go, 9-6 at half. If Fnatic can win this, they're right back in the game. And they'll start to boost 3 players up by the looks of things. Deagle patrols towards middle. Nico might be finding an early grave. He peeks towards that area. Lekro fires off his first few shots, doesn't connect them.
Yeah, now Nico wants to try and step up and dance with the dig of Lekro over in mid. Nico's got his work cut out for him. He's just going to back away. He gives it up, and he's able to sneak away just in the nick of time. Carrigan spots the 3 players down there in mid. They know what's going on, and Fnatic, they're going to try and take a foothold over here in towards CT. And Nico, not long for this world. Now leaves the pressure onto Rain, Exist, and Guardian in this B-bomb site. There is the stack, Exist. He's looked good so far for FaZe, and there we go in the pistol. He lives up to it once again. Guardian chimes back with 2 more. The bomb's down, and it's JW and Flusher. Now all on him. And Guardian, 3 big kills, the hat-trick in the pistol round. FaZe going to move forward onto a 10th. A necessary round for them, Henry.
He's always so good with that P250. Guardian nails it once again. P2000 to kick it off, picked up the upgraded pistol, and then it all falls apart for Fnatic. They do get the bomb planted, though. And will they go for the Cavalier buy of bringing out the Eagles, the armor here? I doubt it'll probably be the AKs in the 3rd. You can see they've got about $2,500 per player right now. And in terms of the FaZe setup, I'll see what they're going for. Yeah, indeed, they're going for a rifle focus here. 2 M4s, a couple of FAMASs, and that UMP just preparing for the AKs in the 3rd. They need to make sure they have a clean sheet here. Can't let the plant go down. Definitely don't give away any kills. We'll see what they can do. They drop the utility to stop the rush. See if these PD50s can do anything at all. It was FaZe that managed to make them work so well. That shouldn't be happening. The boost comes in, a bit of damage received. Nico thinks better of it and just drops down.
Yeah, they would have heard the tags come through, and Nico, he plays it safe. Exist over on the forklift, might spot out Golden. He's going to go checking for him. Knows that Golden's there, and has Exist to find a first kill. He's given FaZe a very nice advantage in this anti-eco round. Right, trying to eye out Flusher. Ooh, P250 has claimed itself its first life over here towards B, but now they take the fight with Carrigan in mid, and they're going to come to regret that decision. Just Lekro and Flusher left alive.
4 versus 2. Flusher and Lekro will be holding up towards the B area, hoping they can sniff out who's ever on the other side. That'll be Guardian. He's managed to get the M4 in his hand right now. He's in the open as raid is available for them, but double spray down looking likely now. We'll find both frags. Bomb will not be planted, but this is where the game really begins in the second half. The AKs we brought out earlier, the bomb got planted in the pistol. Flush up. Not buying just yet, there it is. AK, Molotov, smokes. FaZe will try and get 5 rifles out. Whether that's possible is yet to be seen. I think Nico's already been dropped. One of those on the floor. 11-6 now. Flusher will head towards the B storage by himself. 4 of his teammates heading towards middle. Could go for the fast boost, try and take down who's ever on the other side, which will be Exist and Carrigan, as Nico patrols A by himself.
Flusher's alone outside of B. He's just going to be waiting, hoping that one of these players overextends. Maybe FaZe try their hand at some aggression, but it looks like we're going to see the boost into vents. Fnatic still just waiting outside of the A-bomb site, hoping that FaZe, they've gone for this bonus round, and maybe they're going to try to go aggressive with these SMGs. They don't have any, it's just the rifles up. Now with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, Fnatic setting up with 3 players outside of A. Flash goes through, and that's allowed Exist to find 2 big kills. He's trying to reel this round in. And Golden's made noise and Squeaky, they know that he's there. He has to try and back away. Crim's desperate to win the fight out in mid and gain some ground back. He'll give it up.
Well, there we go, Exist with a fantastic play. That's the teamwork we're looking for in the T-half from FaZe. Seemed to drop off dramatically, but finally that flashbang comes in. He gets the double spray down. Can Guardian replicate the form? Nice work by him. Sets Karrigan up for the alley-oop. And that should be the round here. Crims might get one more, but they know exactly where he is. He's down to 6 HP. It's the wall bang that finishes them off from Exist. 3 kills. And he's having a very good game at this point. I think he's top fragging 20 for Exist. As we'll have a timeout now for Fnatic. Change the music up a little bit. And we'll see what kind of money they've got. Timeouts remaining now. So they'll go for Deagles, P250s. Should be 13-6, but like we said, Fnatic always so strong with the Desert Eagles. Just don't have the money to get much more. Crims will go for armor. As you can see, it's our new addition to the IEM and ESL events. All the utility, the money, all the intel you could possibly need on your screen right now. Money on the left, if it's in red, means it's just less than the other team on the right. Shows you all the utility, the weapons, defuse kits, and as you can see, it's quite a grim set of affairs for Fnatic as we get into round number 19. The unpause comes through. 2 sets of armor, no nades. Not going to be rushing B, but Flusher heads towards that position. I assume we'll just try and use a Deagle and try and challenge if there's a Orpha on the other side.
Guardian is there with that AWP. Flusher's going to go creeping forward. Not going to find anything just yet. FaZe with 2 players inside that B bomb site, one of them being Rain. So he's tucked himself away into the back of Checkers. He's going to be very, very tricky to deal with. Exist, once again, he's the man with the entries right now. JW has since snuck out though onto the forklift, and they've got no idea. Nico keeping an eye on main. Not aware that somehow JW has managed to slip past the pack, and actually the timing couldn't be worse for him. Once again, he's missed it. Flashes into main, takes that first peek, and there's Crims with 1. JW going to arrive on the highway a little bit faster than they would have liked, but Exist now trying to step up to the mark. The bomb goes down. Crims has an AK and armor to work with. This is possible for Fnatic. Flashes on the forklift, and it's this rotation round from Karrigan that could make or break this round for FaZe. Flusher toying with the idea of taking the peak, and now the push looks to come in from FaZe. Flusher misses the opening volley, but there's a shot, and he's going to go back for more. Guardian finishes him off, leaving it now all on Letcro, and there's Karrigan in with that flank.
Well, there it is. All things considered, pretty successful run there for Fnatic. Could have been a lot better with the picked up AK. Good recovery, though, by FaZe, but bomb does go down. They'll have another buy here, and we're getting to that last chance saloon for the Fnatic boys. 13-6 on the CT side in favor of FaZe here. They'll go for that double AWP setup for the first time. It seems like Nico really is the primary second AWP, but that makes sense going into this one. Since Olaf's departure of the squad, it does make sense. Karrigan can AWP as well, but it was always Olaf and Nico seem to bounce in between the two of them. As we get into round number 20. Flush up. Once again going towards B. Always so aggressive. Drops that first smoke. Sendry just to hold the boys off from boosting in middle. JW seeing if Nico wants to try it. He's not going to fully commit to the angles. He's looking for anyone to walk up to the first box there. And for now, looks like Fnatic will investigate towards mid. Karrigan playing by the sandbags. And Nico in this great position. Easy kill. Nothing to do that, and he can fall back and squeaky door. You can see the teamwork really is coming back into favor of FaZe.
It has been such a turnaround in these last few rounds for them. Here's Golden over in Squeaky. He wasn't able to trade, he wasn't able to help out JW, and now he just stands there. I'm going to back away. They're going to go boosting Crims up and over. Letcro to help him out in mid. Smoke goes down, that is going to delay the push out, and Rain, big kill to find. Karrigan still creeping forward, and this is one of the prongs to this split into the A bomb site, and that's going to get completely dismantled. Crims goes down, leaving it now onto Flusher and Golden. Golden opens up. Nico quick on the return. Flusher with 30 seconds. This would be a near-on impossible clutch for him. Able to dispatch of Nico, but now caught in the crossfire. Tries to take the fight with Rain through the smoke, and Carrigan's going to finish him off.
There we go, Harry. That should be it. Maximum loss bonus achieved for Fnatic. One of their final timeouts coming through now. FaZe just look too strong on the CT side. You can see why they picked this map up. Look at the frags while we're here. 21 for Exist. Guardian on 20. It's actually Nico and Rain at the bottom of the scoreboard, believe it or not. As you can see now, everything on your screen in terms of the money. Fnatic buying up what they can. There he is, our boy Carrigan. He loves it here in Sydney. He said that many times. Always a showman. In terms of the final buy for Fnatic, you can see it now. CZ only for JW. They'll keep himself at $1,300, hoping they can win this round and maybe get an AWP as they go forward here. They have got the AKs, they have got utility, but they're running out of lives. Wants to play. They haven't really changed things up in terms of pacing. It's been a lot of defaults, try and get towards that mid-control. Final commitment hasn't seemed to be working out for them at all so far. They haven't got a single round in the second half. Flush up, early smoke towards highway. And this looks like the change of pace we've been looking for. Carrigan's going to be tested. I don't think he'll get a kill here at all. Absolutely done for. Surely, how is he alive? Finally goes down. And this is better. Surprise play towards middle. Yields them a kill. And they finally got a 5-on-4 in their favor.
But they still have to get past Guardian. This is his realm. He's inside of the B-bomb site. He's going to fall. First hurdle, he goes down. And Rain tries to reclaim lost ground. He's going to get forced out from heaven. Let Crow's down in CT, and he's just going to decapitate heads left and right. He's in with his third, leaving it now all onto Nico. And Let Crow just ruthless here as he hunts them down in CT. Nico would love to stay alive and take the AWP with him into the next round, but it does not look likely. 2 HP, and Golden going to go ahead and find him.
Well, that's more like it from Fnatic. Showing that killer instinct, going to an area as a 5-man group and showing they can outdraw these players. And that's looking much, much better. The defaults haven't been working out. I prefer when Fnatic just go for that balls to the wall Counter-Strike, just choose an area, get in as a group, and get it done. Let Lekro get off the leash a bit. Let's see what he can do when he's set up with a few flashbangs and just goes with trades available to him. Didn't give up a single kill there, and that's their first round in the second half. That should light the fire beneath them. There's no pressure on FaZe just yet. They have got money to buy Harry, but I don't think they will. They might as well just make sure they get the full buy. There's a couple of players hovering on the $3,800 mark. Sure, you get for masses or UMPs, but let's not open the window of opportunity wider than it has to be. CZs, Deagles, no armor. Just let them have this one. There's always a slight chance you can win it. You've got such a huge buffer of rounds here. It's 14-7 on the CT side of Cash. Sure, Fnatic can still get back into this one, but let's make sure we close it out in the proper gun rounds.
Well, let's see. Can Fnatic blaze a trail to the comeback here? Looking like they want to try and go for mid once again, but this time Carrigan tries to slip through undetected. Crims tags him up. Carrigan, he gets nothing done down in mid. Now it's Nico, his trusty Deeg in hand, and there was a time where he was so proficient with the Deeg. We'll get forced out of mid. So Fnatic, they've taken map control early on over in middle, and they've also found themselves a man advantage. Now they can afford to maybe ease the pressure off just a little bit.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! There we go. Oh, we love it. Either way, let's get back into the action. It will be the CZ, the Deagles, and we'll see whether FaZe can make any sort of dent here. One player has gone down, that's Carrigan. CZ's, Deagles, no armor, remember, and it's just Fnatic playing this very slow, very methodically. And Flusher makes his way towards the entrance. They should just be splitting the side. You can see they've got one player towards middle. Should be easy as you like, but Rain's got other things in mind. Trade comes through. Rain wants a couple more.
I gotta keep hunting him down. There's JW with the trade. And Crims on highway, Guardian and Nico. What can they do? 2 Deegs between them. They first have to get past Crims, and he's just looked away. Maybe if Nico goes now, but the opportunity eludes them. Guardian still trying to find something from the truck. Time ticking down. Nico not moving now out from Z. It looks like FaZe are just going to give this round the way of Fnatic. Look to try and do damage on the players as they exit. Crims is holding this angle, and Nico, as he walks out, Crims will find him now. It's all on the shoulders of Guardian. And he's just going to go running for the hills. Fnatic 8-14. They've started to chain together a couple of rounds now, Henry.
Yeah, that's what they needed. Gave a couple of frags away, but still, rounds on the board, that's all that really matters here. JW getting a couple, gets himself at the 15, Crims up there as well. This is where the true test comes in. Like we said, FaZe took the eco just to ensure they had the double orbs out again. All the utility, the fuse kits, and Rain certainly making things not easy for them. You see the CZ does have some limitations. 12 bullets in the clip, and he expended them very quickly. I'm using the screen right now. One more round will be map point for FaZe. This is their pick. Rain currently on 12 kills, 13 deaths. Not his best performance, considered one of the absolute stars of CSGO, not just for this team, but the whole team together. Smokes down towards middle from Fnatic, trying to bait out whatever utility they can, but a spray battle here. Flusher takes the brunt of the damage, but he does dish them out as well. Takes Rain to 31.
And that's going to force Rain to have to play a bit more conservatively in towards this B-bomb site. The double orb setup brought out early on, not early on rather, but brought out for FaZe in this round. Guardian and Eco have that split between them, and Guardian knocking down mid, the temptation there just to go for the spam, but he decides against it. Smoke is down. Golden's up on the boost. Guardian, this is his playground. There's the first frag out on a Crims. Now he'll give it up. He's done the damage. JW answers back, and now into a 4-on-4. They're going to start to head over here towards the A-bomb site. It looks like Flush has made decent progress. Out toward B, but is he ready for Rain? Who's hidden away. Over in check is Flusher. How's he been allowed to get so far? Rain might miss the timing here for the trade. He's going to be able to pick it up. Now the pressure's on Electro and JW. Out into Exist they go. And JW AWP in hand. He tags down Exist, but Guardian's not going to give up easy. 3 kills for him in that round. The hat-trick and FaZe, they're going to arrive at map point.
Yeah, not a second too soon either. The money's weak for Fnatic. No chance to weaken. They have to go for it. Lecro $3,500. Golden with $2,600. Flusher did what he could towards B there. It was a nice distraction. Trying to set his teammates up towards A, but they couldn't find the kills, couldn't get anywhere near the bomb site. Rain is shutting it down. And we go into what could be the very last round. It's actually not too bad, the overall complexion of Fnatic here. They have got the AKs, the AWP. Only compromise really is the utility. It's about saying this one has to be theirs. They now need 7 in a row to take it to overtime. Rain waiting in towards middle at this point. Crims on the other side. The ultimate standoff. The 2 stars of either side trying to snip each other out. It's going to be Carrigan strike first. He'll set Rain up. Another smoke deployed. This could be it now. 5 versus 3. Exist is coming in, and it's just Flusher and Golden now to try and win the 2-on-5. They'll commit towards middle, but like we said, Rain is there, and that should be it. The first map goes in favor of FaZe. It's their pick. We'll move on to Mirage next. They looked really shaky in the first half. It wasn't the team we're used to seeing, but they really got their act together in the second. That was a perfect CT performance. Fnatic barely got in there whatsoever. This one's just heating up, ladies and gentlemen. FaZe look like they're poised, but remember, Mirage is next, and that's where Fnatic are one of the scariest teams in the world. We'll take a quick break and see whether they can bring the next back in their favor.
All eyes are on you, so give them greatness with